examples of everything I can do, then I'm gonna establish so that I don't spread myself too thin on acting and end up in over my head, which I have a bad habit of doing.
I'm sure you do quite well.
I always feel like the better version usually comes out of unexpected chaos. It's the sink or swim mentality.
I understand.
I do better under those circumstances. Right now I'm learning how to make music videos.
Do you have the thing?
What? What thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Almost ready. I always want to think. There's all this stuff going down here. All right. Ready? Okay. So this is our, we're gonna put this to order. This is our City Council regular meeting. We're in the Mon County Commission chambers. It's Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. It's 7 p.m. We're calling the meeting to order and asking the clerk if she would please call the roll.
Yes. Deputy Mayor Boo Ghanem,
Present.
Bill Kowecki,
Here.
Weezy Michael,
Here.
Danielle Trumbull,
Here.
Dave Harshbarger,
Here.
Brian Butcher,
Here?
Mayor Celine.
Here. We'd like to stand now for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we are, pardon clerk, we are not doing,
Not doing the regular minutes.
we're not doing the regular minutes, but we are doing these special minutes.
Yes.
All right. So approval of the minutes. There's been a holiday weekend and a bit in between, and so we are approving just item A, the special meeting minutes, August 29th, 2023. So we approve them by acclamation unless anybody has any additions or corrections. Okay. And then we have correspondence, and we're very pleased to have Rick Bebop in the house. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the Morgantown Urban Deer Archery Hunt Recap 2022 and plans for 2023.
Thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier this spring, we had another successful year in 2022. We harvested 85 deer and I believe donated 1,122 pounds of ground venison to the folks in need within our community. We had a pretty busy off-season. We worked very closely with both private and public stakeholders and worked very closely in particular with Bow Park, and our starting Saturday with our 13th season, we'll be hunting 4 of Bow Park's parks on a really conservative manner. Dorsey's Knob, White Park, Kreps, and Marilla Park. Cleared our wait list this summer. I think we had about 22 people on our wait list, and we had some no-shows. I think we brought in 17 or 18 new hunters. We have a total of 93 hunters this fall who will be hunting 46 different properties. And I'm really proud to say that we are 394 pounds short of breaking the 12,000 pound mark of total pounds of venison donated. And I anticipate to do that within the first 3 weeks of our season. As I said, the season starts September 9th. It'll run through December 31st. It's shut down for a week. It opens back up January 8th and goes through January 31st. Looking for another safe and effective project. Any questions?
Thank you.
Appreciation.
Yes.
Huge appreciation.
Well, I appreciate that, and I know you have a vested interest in Suncrest as well as some of your neighbors. So we're doing our best over there this year, and I'm anticipating some better results over there.
I was mentioning that some of my plants are all the way to the ground. So just a little relief. I like to share, but there's a limit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I appreciate your continued support and look forward to coming back in early 2024 and reporting on our outcomes.
Cool.
All right.
Great.
Thank you
Any
all.
questions? Brian, you good? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have something really exciting. So we received this really cool award. It's the All-Star Community Award. It was for enrichment, and it was presented to the City of Morgantown in recognition for exceptional performance and innovative contributions to a progressive municipal government. So, our forward-thinking government decided that, this is comments from Travis with the Municipal League, and he's talking about how the city got our award, and it said, "The complex and economically unfavorable outcomes of the COVID-19 pandemic led the city officials of Morgantown to search for ways to rebrand itself to entice new businesses, supporting existing businesses, and provide safe, clean, friendly, and welcoming environment for its local and out-of-town visitors. Their search for ideas culminated in this Morgantown City Ambassador Program. With the seeds of an idea and $200,000 in ARPA funds, the program was kickstarted with press releases, identifiable ambassador uniforms, street signage, and introductory equipment. Lead City Ambassador Kimberly Katarski and City Ambassador Ed Mason enacted what would become the Morgantown City Ambassador Program's 4 pillars: tourism and hospitality, beautification, business liaison, and public health and public safety. These ambassadors have fostered relationship with agencies and organizations such as city management, public works, the Morgantown Police Department, code enforcement, and WVU students. I would say, as well as businesses, which is in the next paragraph. Morgantown's ambassadors act as liaisons for businesses, allied with Main Street Morgantown. They welcome all new businesses and support activities that generate increased commerce and tourism. Strategic budgeting enables the program to exist for the next year, which began April 4th, 2022, and is funded through July 1st of 2024. And I would just like to point out that this program has exceeded, I think, all expectations in that we found individuals who can both clean up, welcome people and suggest a few local restaurants if they ask, can navigate the ins and outs of working with businesses, people who are in trouble and need some sort of help. You name it, you see them there. So if there's an event, they're there. If there's a problem, they're there. If there's a tourist who's looking for directions, they're there. Pretty much everywhere you go, you see them, and they're identifiable uniforms, as mentioned, in receiving the award. So I would like to come down and give you the award. which way we're supposed to face. Oh, well. So here's your award. And I'd like to present it to you.
Thank you.
And we should get a picture somehow. I don't know how we do that. Oh, good. All right, here we go. Let's get a picture. And then we would like to hear more from you all about how it's been going, things that we should know about the ambassadors, because it still feels kind of new and people just need to be more educated about how it works and what you all offer to the city.
Thank you.
Good.
Appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
We
thank you,
appreciate
ma'am.
your support, all of you. Education is power. And so from the minute that we put boots on the ground, that was our first job, was to determine who we are and what we are and what is our purpose and our mission. And so, as the mayor had noted, it then became the 4 pillars. And the 4 pillars are tourism and hospitality, beautification, business liaison, and public health and public safety. And so that was then, and this is now. So that was April 4th, 2022, and here we are now for a variety of things along the ride. If you all remember last time we were here, Ed was actually on crutches because one of the trainings that we're going to talk about today, the pepper spray training, Ed literally took one for the team. And so, that's where we were then, and here's where we are now. And so I'm going to ask Ed to pass out some pamphlets that we have that sort of snapshotted. We took the year's end to say, what have we done? Can we encapsulate this? Can we provide some pictures and some numbers? We went back to our metrics, and we provide this pamphlet with you that is about to change again. And that's what we expect this to happen in this program, is this is ever growing and changing and always in the positive way. Because by nature, everybody sitting here today, we're problem solvers. And in being problem solvers, you look for positive solutions, and positive solutions that render numbers. And so with that, those numbers are going to change that you see in front of you, and I'm going to provide some of those new numbers that are going to change tomorrow. And likewise, you'll also notice those identifiable uniforms have changed as well. And so we have a new logo, and we have a new ambassador, and his name is Cam. And so he had his first inundation, if you will, of one of our big events with about 55 fraternity and sorority individuals who helped us clean up on Sunday. So yet again, those numbers where beautification is concerned has changed. All right, so with that being said, we have collected 12,749 pounds of trash, 1,804 bags of trash, and like I said, let's add an extra 15 from that event, and we have more, and we'll have more tomorrow. We met with over 110 merchants and business owners and have had over 95. We just stopped at a merchant on our way in and gathered together some really good information. Business check-ins. We tended to over 962 health concerns and requests, which include, and this is where the education comes in. Sometimes, unless your boots are on the ground or you're watching, you don't really know. Safety escort, MECA emergency 911 calls, suspicious activity calls, safe needle removals, reporting and removal of potentially dangerous debris, reporting of structural hazards, reporting of trash, reporting of rodents, cleaned up cigarette butts, wellness checks, daily safety patrols, first aid supplies for the unsheltered. We tended to heat exhaustion, one vehicle accident over here, a sidewalk accident over here too, a sprained ankle, a B reaction, and 2 overdoses. Likewise, we've attended about 155 community events and counting, which that looks something like this. Farmers markets, Ruby Amp Summer Concert Series, so many of you are there, you see us there. Most of our parades, most of our merchant pop-ups, an international festival, MAC events, moonlight markets, tattoo festivals, community and volunteer cleanups, Friends of Decker Creek events, handmade markets, vintage festivals, pride events, survivors events, ribbon cutting, small business Saturdays, downtown trick-or-treating, and yes, I do give out candy. For those of you who attend the concert series, you know I have candy at the table. Hops in the Mon, and business after hours. And we have approximated about 8,606 greetings and 5,390 active conversations, but in all likelihood, that number is far higher as we greet each visitor with a salutation, and we wish concert attendees a good night in departure. And now I'm going to pass it over to Ed.
I may have missed this, but to keep track, I mean, we actually do a questionnaire every day at the end of the shift. So these are real numbers. We do this every day, and we keep it, it's ongoing. We keep adding it up. So we're not just making this
No.
stuff up. There's quite a bit of information here. We have also provided resources to over 735 individuals without shelter, which includes things such as calling 911, offering first aid supplies, Band-Aids, antiseptics, handing out trash bags. That's become a big one lately. And that's actually been fairly popular, which is a great thing. And people are doing if they can help with that, that's good. Providing resource information through partner organizations, and that's primarily for new people in town. If they've just arrived off the bus or wherever they come from, where they can get help at Health Right, clothing, Christian Help, the Friendship House, Hazel's House of Hope. As cold weather approaches, we'll let people know that, it's going to be awful cold tonight. Do you have a place to stay? It's going to be 20 degrees. Is the warming shelter open? Is it not open? So it's pretty good. We've really leaned into interacting with the unhoused population here, and it's getting to a point where we're starting to feel as comfortable as I think you can in that kind of situation. We have undergone training in crisis intervention training, CPR, AED, emergency first aid, adult mental health first aid, pepper spray use, and Narcan use. We work internally with everybody, but all of the city departments, but most actively with code enforcement, MPD, culture and arts, communication, city management, and public works. We work externally with our businesses and with partner organizations such as the Mon River Rail Trail, Bow Park, the library. We stop in the library every single day. Main Street Morgantown Area Partnership, Friends of Deckers Creek, Botanical Gardens, MAC, and we're very active at WVU with, and this is primarily through Kim, with the student life, community engagement, and School of Public Health.
Yes.
So at that, I'll turn that back to you.
And you might have heard, and we're going to see what this actually looks like. I'm excited about it, and I'm even excited with the uncertainty of it, how this unfolds. But we're also giving tours. So we're looking to expand that and what that looks at different levels. But it's really started with WVU, and they asked us for Welcome Week if the ambassadors could tie into that, and we said absolutely. With welcoming them to the city and providing them with tours. That got everybody talking because other people were interested in tours too. So those tours could be at various levels because if it's a local, then obviously we're going to have to go in a little bit deeper. So we're happy to try that, something new too. Likewise, we also work hand in hand with the CVB with Visit Mountaineer Country, and so we're quite active with one another. They support us and vice versa. So again, if you've seen us at concerts, we usually have a table that almost looks like we work tandem with them. We're also invited and recognized stakeholders and meet bi-monthly with Human and Social Services, which includes Hazel's House of Hope, Bartlett House, Salvation Army, United Way, Christian Help, the Friendship House, Valley Health, Health Right, and veterans organizations. If it's an organization here in Greater Morgantown, we are reaching out to them because that is our power. We're better together. We have created an ambassador onboarding program for all present and future city ambassadors and interns. And so we had an intern from WVU last semester, and we have one this semester. Good word is getting out. And just like I said before, we have a new ambassador, and his name is Cam Allen. We have also done all of this while being fiscally and creatively responsible with materials, uniforms, and staff in such a way that addresses the city's best interests and our budgetary guidelines. So we thank you for this time, and we don't want to take any more of that because we realize that, you know, you have a tight agenda and how important it is that you tend to that. And we thank you for all that you do here in the city. We thank you for your continued support. And we just wanted to tell you that, you know, we appreciate working hand in hand with you as we work together to support a safe, vibrant, and welcoming city of Morgantown where folks can stay for a few hours, for a few days, a few years, or for a lifetime, because we're all the face of Morgantown. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Yes.
Mayor, I'll give this back to you.
Yes.
You can,
With Emily? Okay, good.
gonna come back right where you live.
Thank you.
Thank you
you.
both.
Anybody have any questions or?
I think
Nothing but good. Thank you. Looks like we're to the public portion, which shall be subject to rules established by council and adopted by resolution. And I'm practicing a little bit softer with the gavel, so here we go. And if there's anyone wishing to speak, this is your moment. Yes? I think we're talking to you because everyone else works here.
Hello, everyone. I have nothing really significant to talk
Yeah,
about.
If you would tell your name
Yeah.
and your address, that'd be helpful.
So I am Haley Day. I live at 2935 University Ave. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm currently the new local governance liaison for the student government at WVU.
Perfect.
So I just wanted to stop in, see if anything's going on, so I can report it back to my student government. But I really look forward to working with you guys this year. And if there's anything that I can help you with or that we can help each other with, just let me know.
Great. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't normally address, but you're a liaison, and I just wanted to say that if you have things that you would like us to know, you're welcome to come and speak anytime during the public portion. If you're wanting a little bit more time, we can put you on the agenda. So if you're wanting to let us know about things that student government's working on, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. I think we're gonna close this public portion, 'cause I don't see anyone else in the audience. And then we're gonna look at new business. First item is consideration of approval of the first reading of an ordinance amending Articles 523 entitled Litter, 1139 entitled Solid Waste Collection, and 1145 entitled Weeds and Noxious Materials. Let's see, is this a attorney?
Mayor, this ordinance amends generally the litter, solid waste, and weeds and noxious materials provisions of the city code relating to keeping public places clear of litter and the processes by which various city officials can enforce those laws. The specific changes to the laws were presented by Development Services Director Ricky Yeager at your last meeting. Council moved this to the agenda and the city recommends approval.
Yes. I think someone was asking that we point out that it's a clarification, that it's designed that when trash goes in the wrong place, that someone be held accountable, and that the person that puts it in there be held accountable, and that we educate people about not putting their, for instance, construction items in trash cans, but that they need to, in other people's trash cans, be they public or someone else's trash cans, and that we make sure that people understand what the rules are and follow them, but they're pretty common sense.
That's correct, Mayor. The prohibition on littering that is already in the code is augmented to specify that construction waste cannot be placed in public trash receptacles, and that it is littering to place things in receptacles that are not meant to go there, as designated on the receptacles.
So is there anyone that needs any, let's have a motion.
I just wanted to clarify if a needle's found on some, like say it's found in my yard, I'm not responsible. Somebody wanted to clarify that a property owner is not responsible, will be fined if somebody throws a needle on their property.
That's correct, Counselor.
Okay.
The prohibitions on littering only apply to public places. Those
Okay.
So streets and public properties, they don't apply to private
Okay,
property.
super, thank you.
Move to approve. Second.
Thank you. Is there any other questions or concerns that you've heard in the community?
Yes.
Yes.
I just wanted to
I
clarify.
thought there might be.
Well, that was one that I wanted
Absolutely.
to address. It is not the littery. If something is thrown onto your property, a needle or medical waste, you are not the one held responsible. The person littering that would be held responsible if that can be proven or observed. But another concern that I heard was the city is hiring an entire group of people just to go out and search for litter and write citations. That is not correct. We are just authorizing some already employed city positions.
That's right, Counselor. West Virginia Code 8-12-16C allows cities to designate their employees who are not law enforcement officers as special litter prevention officers and give them the right to issue citations for littering. The city has done that for a long time with this Article 523 and has previously designated its code enforcement officers, its parking authority officers, and maybe another that I'm forgetting. This adds a designation of fire marshals and the development services director as well, and cleans up the title designations, but it does not hire new staff.
Great.
Ryan, will other officers outside of Morgantown be able to enforce it if it's in the city and Morgantown limits? Let's say WVU, for example. Can our officers enforce
The city.
let's say a needle, for example, we see somebody throwing a needle down. Can we enforce that littering?
The Morgantown Police Department and WVU Police Department have a cooperative agreement for a certain area, and that agreement allows WVU PD to enforce any city laws in that area.
Perfect.
So, yeah, these and others, WVU PD would be allowed to enforce as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any other? Okay. Brian? Okay. Just want to be sure we're not leaving you out. You're there. All right. So, if the clerk would please call the roll.
Yes. Deputy Mayor Buchanan? Yes. Bill Koecki?
Yes.
Weezy Michael?
Yes.
Danielle Trumbull?
Yes.
Dave Harshbarger?
Yes.
Brian Butcher?
Yes.
Mayor Celine?
Yes. Passes unanimously. Moving on to consideration of approval of the first reading of an ordinance amending section 15505 of the city code, providing for furnishing of bond by members of the parking authority. Yeah, and we have already covered this in our, and if you would just reiterate.
Yeah, last week we had or last council meeting, we had a report by the director of the parking authority, and the parking authority is requesting that council amend section 15505 of the city code to remove the requirement by board members of the posting of a $5,000 surety bond, and that's their recommendation, and if council voted in the affirmative, it would take that requirement out of that section.
So it's pretty much a housekeeping matter that hasn't
It
been
is.
followed for a long time.
Yeah.
Move to approve. Thank you.
Second?
Thanks. All right. Is there any comments? All right. If you would please call the roll.
Yes. Deputy Mayor Buchanan?
Yes?
Bill Koecki?
Yes.
Weezy Michael?
Yes.
Danielle Trumbull,
Yes.
Dave Harshbarger,
Yes.
Brian Butcher,
Yes.
Mayor Celine.
Yes, passes unanimously. On to item C, consideration of approval of a resolution authorizing an application for Governor's Highway Safety Program grant.
Mayor, I can address that also.
Yes, I was looking your direction without saying manager. Thank you.
We had a report from, regarding the school resource officers. There's also funding available. The city has in the past provided funding for a prevention resource officer in the schools. And the city currently funds that program in the amount of almost $47,000. This grant would allow the city to apply for and receive $15,000 in JAG monies to be able to help offset some of the costs the city would normally have to pay for that particular position. It's our recommendation that we approve it.
We like grants.
We like those dollars coming in, anything to
Yeah.
offset general fund dollars, sure.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any questions or?
This is for a school resource officer or a prevention officer?
Prevention officer.
Well,
Is it? I was confused by the
I was
explanation,
too.
I guess,
I was
because
too.
it
The
wasn't in the
wording.
resolution. It says West Virginia Justice Assistance Grant Program. It didn't specifically mention a resource officer or a prevention officer, I'm sorry.
I was looking at the application today, and the application itself indicates and specifies that position in the grant. It says it will fund a PRO, or a prevention resource officer, and that's down in the grant application itself.
Okay, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
I was just confused
Yeah.
when you said that usually the highway safety.
Goes for other things.
Yeah.
This is
Title may just not match the resolution on
Oh, so maybe the agenda is.
Highway safety program?
electronics is the
the
next
highway
one for
safety
sure.
the JAG program falls under the highway safety program. It's just a larger.
So maybe in our next, it's for, maybe we could just, for the next agenda, we could just say to pay for a school resource officer
Sure.
or something on it, besides that it's the highway safety program grant, because I
That's
was
great.
wondering the same thing. Just a little bit more specific. All right. Any other questions or concerns? Is it sufficient if next time we just specify what it's for on the agenda, so if it just says for a school resource officer? Or would you
Yeah.
like to do that now, or how do you want to?
I was just confused
Yeah,
because
me too.
normally the highway safety
Yeah.
program is for like speeding or
Yeah, speed check.
checkpoints or
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, okay, so next time, we'll just,
This is a resolution the council will approve on one reading. I think
Oh.
with the materials in the packet and the description in the resolution, the notice of the actual contents of the grant application are adequate, though, if council would move to approve the application tonight.
okay,
That's fine.
okay.
Move to
So we're
approve.
clear,
Move to
thank you.
approve.
All right. Second?
Second.
And then if the clerk would, unless somebody else has other concerns, we'll have the clerk call the roll.
Yes. Deputy Mayor Buganim,
Yes.
Bill Kolecki,
Yes.
Weezy Michael,
Yes.
Danielle Trumbull,
Yes.
Yes.
Dave Harshbarger, Brian Butcher,
Yes.
Mayor Celine?
Yes, passes unanimously, and now we're on to consideration of approval of a resolution authorizing an application for WVDEP, Covered Electronics Devices Grant. And the manager?
I can certainly give an update, and if our Assistant City Manager wants to add anything, that'd be great. For the last several years, our Special Resources Individual, Projects Individual has applied for a grant that specifies and allows for the funding of a recycling of technology equipment, and that's been a very successful and highly used program within the city. This application is simply renewing or applying for another grant this year that we can apply towards getting rid of our electronic devices throughout the city in a safe and reasonable manner.
So this is the same program that we've done, or is this an
Yes.
expansion in any way?
No, it's about the same amount that we requested the last several years.
The specific grant application is similar to what was held on this past August in conjunction with MUB's Household Hazardous Waste. It was incredibly successful. We had 294 cars participate for over 17,000 pounds of electronics that were recycled. So this essentially would allow us to apply for that again. I do want to also make note that we had financial support. We did not get all of the funds that we had originally asked for in the grant, but both the Mon County Commission and the Mon County Solid Waste Authority helped to financially participate so we could get that recycling vendor and get the project moving forward. So because of the success of this, we are looking at doing that again in this upcoming year. And MUB also had a very successful event, and we're looking at actually potentially hosting those again on the same day, but potentially also in the same location if awarded this grant. So it's been very successful. There's no cost. It's city and county residents, so it's something that's been really a great opportunity, because otherwise it is very difficult. We are hoping to ask for a little bit more this year to be able to cover the CRT TVs. So those are ones that in the past we have not been able to cover. The cost, I think, is about an extra $3,000, but hopefully that's something we'll be able to do this next year, showing the success of the program. And we just had in-kind contributions, so we funded a couple staff members to help kind of take things back and forth out of people's vehicles.
Great. Thank you for the report as well. All right. Is there any other questions or concerns? Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any more questions or concerns? All right. If the clerk would please call the roll.
Yes. Deputy Mayor Buchanan?
Yes.
Bill Kolecki?
Yes.
Weezy Michael?
Yes.
Danielle Trumbull?
Yes?
Dave Harshbarger?
Yes.
Brian Butcher?
Yes.
Mayor Celine?
Yes. Passes unanimously. Now we're moving on to one of my favorite times of year. Also, I think,
My favorite.
our deputy mayors. So we're working towards setting the time for trick-or-treating, and after asking the clerk to double check our past times, it was 6 to 8, and as per usual, we'd be recommending the 31st as the traditional time when people go trick-or-treating. Sort of like you can't change, I don't think usually you can change a holiday, so we're not looking to do that this year. So if someone would like to make a motion for the hours of 6 to 8 on the 31st of October.
I would like to make a motion that we set the hours from 6 to 8 on October 31st for trick-or-treating within
Second.
city limits.
All right. Thank you. Is there any debate, concerns? All right. If the clerk would please call the roll.
Yes. Deputy Mayor Buchanan,
Yes.
Bill Koecki,
Yes.
Wheezy Michael,
Yes.
Danielle Trumbull,
Yes?
Dave Harshbarger,
Yes.
Brian Butcher,
Yes.
Mayor Celine.
Yes. Let the fun begin. Just would like to, for the public's notice, notice that our meeting will be on the 30th in October, and not on the 31st, so that we can properly attend to our neighborhoods on that day.
What's the costume policy for that meeting?
There's no costume policy.
So I-
You are welcome to dress appropriately for a meeting in costume.
Like the first part of that. Okay.
Sorry about the appropriately for a meeting, but you can definitely come in costume. There's no requirement that I know of. We could have our legal counsel look at that, but I don't think.
As Hercules, I will
Ah.
wait and leave my sword at home.
I think you'll be fine. It's Hercules. City managers report.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to just express appreciation to our ambassadors for the wonderful job they do. I receive, of all the programs that we have in the city, I receive a lot of positive responses from the community and the businesses. Just a positive attitude they present. You'll recall that this was an outgrowth of the ARPA dollars that came out, and our illustrious assistant city manager, she did some research, and this is a program that was her brainchild, and I wanted to express appreciation to Emily for thinking about it, seeing the need of some positive connection with the downtown businesses, and it certainly has panned out. So thank you all for your efforts there. I think it's wonderful. Wanted to also give you heads up. For a number of years, we've been trying to seek ways of funding the study of a pedestrian bridge from the White Park area across the boulevard to the trail area. Our grant writer and others have worked with the MMPO trying to get approval, their stamp of approval on it. We finally got it from Bill Austin that he thinks it's time we made application for the study of such a project and location of the project. You will be receiving in the near future a grant application in the amount of $500,000 to study the pedestrian bridge. 400 of that will be government state dollars, and $100,000 would require local match. So we're hoping to leverage $100,000 to pay for a major study that would, and with that study we can then go and apply for grants. That's certainly a requirement, I think, in my mind, in the completion of a project like that. The other thing I would bring to your attention, and you probably read about in the paper, the approval by the National Transportation folks, the approval of the Mon River waterway as an M79 designation or navigable designation. This is huge, from Morgantown to, and the mayor and I were talking earlier today how the river really is an underutilized, I think, a gem of a resource for our area. And this designation really does give us an opportunity to expand that and to help encourage other entities and private folks to engage in greater commerce and activity on the river. That's great news. That's all I have at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Two good items.
Mayor, just a quick question, please.
Yeah.
With regards to the $500,000 design study, does that include the design?
Yes.
As opposed to the study,
Yeah.
so that's the design
Absolutely.
as well.
With that, it is the design.
It is the
And-
design,
And with,
okay.
with the design, with that study, then it's much easier to go after grants if you have a real specific.
Mhm.
Right now, we don't even know what the best location, I mean, we've talked about, well, where shall we place this? Well, we can't go after grant money to construct the bridge if we don't even know where to place it. So this really does give us a leg up in terms of going after federal, state and federal dollars.
Yeah, for sure. That's exciting.
Yeah, we've been applying for money
Yeah.
other ways and not getting it. So this would be just keep working toward finding a home for that project.
Yeah, currently I use the stoplight at Sargasso and get in line with vehicles and then run up the hill to get into White Park from the trail.
Do you have to throw your bicycle up over the
I
steep
don't
bank?
try pushing my bike up, I just run.
Wow. All right. Any other questions for our manager? And then we'll work on city clerk.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to follow along as City Manager Hawes in congratulating our ambassadors. I wish I could have been there at the Municipal League to be there to hear the director say all those kind words about about your program, and I can tell you that I've heard so many things about your program and all the things that the people that you meet and the things that you accomplish, and again, it was a great idea. Assistant City Manager, I think it's a fantastic idea, so congratulations. I want to remind council about the state auditor's training. So if you're interested in going, it is on Wednesday, September 20th in Bridgeport. So let me know if you're interested in going to that. They do have some interesting things to talk about. I wanted to share that the Fire Civil Service Commission, in collaboration with the Morgantown firefighters, will be holding an open house on September 30th. That's a Saturday for the agility. The clerk's office has reached out to all of those who have shown interest in being a firefighter since the beginning of 2021, and reach out to them to ask them to come to Northside Fire Station and participate in this agility open house to just speak with the firefighters and learn the best way to pass the test. I had a conversation with Lieutenant Moore about that test, and we were talking about some of the things that you do. It's quite challenging. And when you see someone pulling this dummy, it looks pretty light. And I didn't realize until after I talked to him that it's almost, I think he said about 160 some pounds, because you have to pull someone out. So anyway, it's quite interesting. And so if you know folks who might be interested in doing that, then have them reach out to me, or on our website they can complete the job interest form, and that comes right to us, and we'll notify them of the open house, September 30th at 10:30 a.m. But we would like for folks to register, so we'll kind of know how many will be there, so we have enough hands on deck to participate. Municipal Government Week, we've been talking about that, is October 16th through 20th. Things are rolling along. We're getting new ideas and planning new things, and we're reaching out to our department heads to do something fun and to celebrate our employees. So we're looking forward to that. And so I'll share more later as we get closer.
Nice.
We want to make sure that the media is aware of what we're doing, and so we can get the word out. And lastly, the Police Civil Service Commission will be holding entry-level police officer exam on October 28th. That's a Saturday at 9 a.m. Applications can be completed online, and that's do it online, and there's a $25 application fee, so that can be taken care of online as well. Or if someone would like to come in and fill that out by hand, take care of it in the office, absolutely, we can do that as well. Just sharing that again, Saturday, October 28th at 9 a.m. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. City council members.
Attorney first.
City attorney. I just went back and looked. I'm like, I'm missing something. City attorney. Hello. Not
The
intended.
City Council previously adopted an ordinance annulling a portion of First Street and accepting a declaration of easement for new right-of-way adjacent to align that street with the newly relocated Campus Drive. The property transfer documents are now received and complete, and the city's Public Works Department will be meeting with the contractor tomorrow and are expected to issue a notice to proceed, so that work should be beginning soon. I appreciated the opportunity to sit in on the City Council's joint meeting with the County Commission this evening. Following up on at least one of those issues discussed, there does appear to be parallel authority for both entities to have what are commonly called unsafe structures ordinances, and some opportunities because of that to partner together on identifying those and enforcing the provisions of those. So I will follow up with council and staff on providing those laws and the City of Morgantown ordinance enacting that law, and some opportunities to cooperate on that. And I don't have anything else to report this evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pardon. Pardon me, Deputy Mayor Hagedorn, if you have a report, we would love to hear it.
I appreciate that. Actually, let me first also extend my appreciation to our city ambassadors. I talked to several businesses around here, and they have nothing but the best things to say about you all. And I truly do appreciate it. I saw you all at the concert series as well, and your table that was set up. So thank you for all that you do. Other than that, since we had our meeting last week and I reported a lot, I probably should have saved some for this week. But instead, I am going to cut mine short and pass it over to our second ward council member.
Thank you. Just a comment again on the ambassadors. I think it's the enthusiasm that you bring to the job that make the job done so well. And we do really appreciate your attitude and your enthusiasms for the work you do. SPAN, the South Park Association of Neighbors, is having their block party this Friday evening at Eaton Park, which is on the corner of Morris and Park Street. It will start at 6 o'clock and supposedly end by 9. You are all welcome to come. It's a neighborhood gathering. There'll be some music, and I think we're going to do cornhole this time around too. So bring your game. But that's all I have.
Can we bring our own bags?
All right.
Sure, if they're not loaded.
I was also going to thank the county commissioners and Senator Oliverio for coming to our joint meeting. I think those are very important. I was going to thank Assistant Manager Mazzarelli because it was her idea for the City Ambassador Program. I love our ambassadors. I think they do great work. My son and I have had the pleasure many times to participate in cleanups. So even Connor is well aware of the ambassadors, knows them, and knows where to go for candy when we're at the concerts. So they're doing great work. We just had a meeting last week. I had the opportunity to do some state travel in between then and now. I visited the downtown of Elkins. I talked to their mayor, and who's a friend of mine, and got some good recommendations. So my family and I stopped there for lunch and some shopping, and then drove to Snowshoe and rode the Greenbrier Express. It's not very express. Just prepare yourself. It's a slow train ride. But it was beautiful, and, get out and enjoy our state. Just a couple of events I want to bring up before I'm done. Tomorrow, there is a DOT Vulnerable Road User Assessment Open House at the Mountain Line Transit Authority in Westover from 4:30 to 6:30. So if you are particularly invested in being a pedestrian or a cyclist in our community, it is a great way to get some input to the folks in charge of our roads. So again, 4:30 to 6:30 tomorrow at Mountain Line. Friday, as you said, there's lots of events. I'll mention two. Bow Park is hosting a gallery opening at the Wiles Hill Community Building with the Deborah D. Palmer Gallery. Sherry Lynn Bennett is opening her show Grids, Glow, Weave, and Flow. That event will be happening from 5 to 8 p.m. Friday evening. And don't forget, our Arts Walk downtown is from 6 to 9 that evening as well. The last thing I want to mention, now that the summer concert series has come to an end, our summer and fall movie series is kicking off. So Sundays at 5 p.m. is a more family-friendly, they're all family-friendly, but a more child-themed movie. And at 7 p.m. is a more family-friendly or adult-themed movie. So make sure you stop by and check out some of those. We have a very expensive, fancy digital screen, and we're going to put it to good use. Excellent.
Thank you for mentioning that at Wiles Hills. And then I just want to say 461 is complete as far as the grass is mowed. Now you can see the road and curbs. So it's really, neighbors are really happy with that. And I believe we're moving forward still on maybe demolishing it in the future at some point. So that's pretty much all I have today. I just want to say thank you for the city workers that did such a great job. That was a pretty nasty job. So I'm glad they got it done. So thank you. That's all.
Excellent. Councilor Ashberger?
Thank you. I just wanted to thank Kim and Ed back there. Appreciate your work. Thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity this evening to meet with the County Commission. I think that's always very valuable. And the only information I need to share is just that the South Hills block party is this Sunday from 4 to 7:30. So if you'd like to stop by for any point in time, we'll be up at the top of Vandalia. That's all I have.
The usual place.
Usual place.
All right.
I also wanted to thank Kim and Ed. I see you guys all the time when I'm working, so I run into them a lot when I work. So, but I appreciate you. I definitely do. I see what they do at night or in the evenings when I get to work. So, again,
Nice.
thanks.
Did you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Counselor Butcher?
Hey, I know it's going to be hard to hear me. I want to thank the clerk for allowing me to join this evening virtually. I am sick, just so everybody knows, but I'm feeling okay. I just didn't want to get everybody else sick.
Much
If I could
appreciated.
help it.
We appreciate that. We appreciate your
So-
fortitude in staying home.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys for letting me join the meeting. Thank you to our city ambassadors, county commission as well, for their productive meeting this evening. Thanks, guys.
So, thank you for attending, and in spite of not feeling well, that takes something. And I'd like to layer on the thank you to the city ambassadors. I think I visited a long time ago, trying to remember, San Antonio, the Riverwalk. And what impressed me, it's been a while, but what impressed me there was that they had kind of customer service or service to the people who were there kind of throughout their city structure. So the person who was cleaning up was there, like I was out running early in the morning and they were there cleaning up. The officers who were there, the people in the businesses, everyone throughout were welcoming, helpful. You could tell that they wore their city brand well. They just made you feel so welcome. And they just all had that orientation. And so what Councilor Queckie was talking about, that, you know, you two particular individuals who are clearly identified with this program and have put a lot of energy into it, given to some other random individuals, we may not have the same program. So just really appreciate your infectious attitudes and your work ethic, because clearly you're making it into a program probably unexcelled anywhere. So just really think that you should get a lot of credit individually, and credit also to her assistant city manager, who is the brainchild. And you just need people all working together to make this type of thing work and to make people feel welcome in our community, throughout the community. And so anyway, appreciate the possibilities there and your efforts. Also really appreciated the meeting with the County Commission, and look forward to additional meetings. And I wanted to mention to staff and council that we should be thinking about what kinds of agenda items we'd like to work on, and being prepared with the information for discussion purposes. And I think I would keep the type of meeting the same, which is just a meeting that's informal in a circle right before we have our council meeting. And I think it was nice to have the hour and a half rather than an hour, so that we could just go through the items and discuss. And if we have some leftover time, we can just have a little bit of a gap before our meeting. So as we're moving forward, think about, as ahead of time as we can, any kind of items that you want to talk about. And please make mention of them to me, make mention of them to our manager and our assistant manager, so that we can work on those items. And I just wanted to express appreciation to all of the people who have been working on city and city activities. I looked in the window on Fayette Street. I looked in the window at the people who are working on City Hall, and there were two faces looking out at me because they were working on it. And I wanted to take a picture, but the light turned green, and I thought that would be inappropriate. So I kept traffic moving. I didn't do something unsafe. But you just see people every day who are working on whether it be cleaning up the streets, or whether it be enforcement activities, or especially you see code out there working on different efforts. I think part of the reason that we are updating our litter ordinance is to work with the possibilities that code and other, just that we can have all the different parts of city government working together on litter issues, rather than just relying on one or two parts of city government. So thank you to everybody, and I was thinking about you on Labor Day when we're all not working. But anyway, let's work on some adjournment.
Move to adjourn?
Second. Thank you. There we go. There.